Listen to me very carefully. You have never made a real decision in your life. That voice in your head right now, judging this video, telling you what to eat, when to sleep, and why you should procrastinate. That is not you. That is a parasite. It is a wildly undisciplined, arrogant squatter living inside your skull, and right now, it owns you completely. You think you have free will? Test it. Tell your mind to focus on work for the next 3 hours with 0 distractions. Tell your mind to wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow and love it. Tell your mind to stop craving junk food right this second. It won't do it, will it? Your mind will negotiate, complain, and ultimately disobey you. If your mind was a physical employee, you would have fired it years ago for gross insubordination. Yet because it lives in your head, you accept its rebellion. You think this chaos is just who you are. You are wrong. Your mind is broken because you have never trained it. But what if I told you there is a way to put a leash on this parasite, to make it obey your commands instantly without a single ounce of willpower or internal debate? To understand how, we have to travel back to the year 1600 to a 16-year-old boy in Japan. His name was Miyamoto Musashi. By the age of 13, he had already killed a man in a duel. He was physically flawless, a prodigy with a blade, but during his 4th death match, something terrifying happened. An opponent charged him. Musashi's body knew exactly what to do. His grip, his stance, his counterattack, it was all dialed in. But for 3 agonizing seconds, he froze. Why? Because his mind went to war with him. What if he's faster? What if I die here? What if I make a mistake? His body was screaming, "Move!" but his mind hijacked his reality. Musashi survived by a hair, but sitting in the dark that night, he was haunted. 3 seconds of hesitation in a sword fight equals death. He realized a horrifying truth. He had spent 6 brutal years training his body, but 0 seconds training his mind. His mind was wild. And worse, it didn't just rebel in battle, it rebelled every day. It told him to sleep in. It told him to skip difficult training. It told him to drink. Most teenagers and most adults today would just shrug and say, "Well, I guess I just don't have good self-control." Musashi did something revolutionary. He realized you are not your mind. You are the master. Your mind is the tool. And a tool that disobeys its master is completely useless. So he stopped training his sword and he started training his mind. He called this system Mastery of the Heart-Mind, and it started with something so incredibly simple you will think it's a joke. But I dare you to try it. Week 1. The command was simply, sit completely still for 5 minutes. Do not move a single muscle. Within 60 seconds, Musashi's mind started screaming, "This is stupid. You're wasting time. My leg itches. My back hurts." Sound familiar? It's exactly what your mind does when you try to read a book or do deep work. But instead of giving in, Musashi gave a direct command. "No, we sit for 5 minutes. Obey." When the 5 minutes were up, he acknowledged the victory. The next day, he made it 10 minutes. His mind whined before he even sat down, but he enforced the law. What happened? Slowly, his brain realized that the master's commands were absolute. Resistance was futile. The wild dog was learning the meaning of the word sit. But what happens when the mind fights back hard? What happens when it flat out refuses? Musashi introduced the penalty phase. If he gave his mind a command to meditate for 30 minutes and his mind wandered, or he quit early, the penalty was instant. He had to do it 10 times in a row. Fail to wake up on time, stand up, lie down, stand up, lie down. 10 times. Your brain is fundamentally a math machine. It calculates pleasure versus pain. Musashi rewired his brain's math. His mind quickly learned that one moment of obedience meant peace, but one moment of rebellion meant absolute suffering. The mind chose obedience every single time. Yet Musashi hit another wall. He would command himself not to drink sake. For an hour he was fine, but by the evening the mind would whisper, "Just one cup. You earned it, you're working so hard." And because the sack was sitting right there in his room, he would drink it. He realized a crucial psychological loophole. The mind will only obey if there is no visible escape route. If the escape is easy, the mind will take it. So, Musashi removed the escape. He threw away every drop of alcohol. If he wanted to drink, he had to walk 20 minutes to a village, talk to people he didn't want to see, buy it, and walk 20 minutes back. He made the path to failure exhausting. You want to work out at 5 a.m.? Put your alarm clock in the bathroom and sleep in your gym clothes. You want to focus? Put your phone in another room, lock the door, and turn off the internet router. Don't rely on willpower. Willpower is a myth for the weak. Make obedience the absolute easiest option in the room. Eventually, Musashi's mind started obeying, but it was taking its sweet time. He would say, "Time to train," and his mind would say, "Sure, in 5 minutes." Or, "Right after I finish this thought." He realized that this delay is the exact breeding ground for failure. The gap between a command and an action is where the mind builds its counter-arguments. Let's eat first. Let's rest a bit. By the time 5 minutes passed, the original command was dead. So he instituted the 3-second rule. Command given, action starts within 3 seconds. Not 5, not 10. 3. Begin practice. 1, 2, 3. If his body wasn't moving by 3, the 10 times penalty was triggered. He killed the gap. He gave his internal parasite 0 oxygen to breathe, 0 time to argue, instant execution. The final piece of the puzzle was ending the internal civil war. Why do you struggle to make decisions? Because half of you wants to be a legend, and the other half wants to eat chips on the couch. When both voices are equally loud, you freeze. Musashi destroyed this by creating an absolute non-negotiable hierarchy of values. Mastery was at the very top. Comfort was at the very bottom. It wasn't a suggestion, it was an active law. So when his mind said, "Sleep in, be comfortable," and his decision was, "Wake up, achieve mastery," there was no debate. Mastery legally outranked comfort. The argument was over before it began. After a year of this brutal, systematic training, Musashi's peers thought he was a machine. He never hesitated. He never procrastinated. When they asked him why he didn't fight himself like normal men do, he smiled and said, "I stopped fighting my mind. I started training it." Musashi went on to fight over 60 death matches and never lost a single one. Not because he was the strongest, but because while other men were battling their own fear and hesitation, Musashi's mind was completely silent, waiting for its master's command. Here is the uncomfortable truth about you. Your mind's disobedience is not a permanent trait. It is a trained habit. Every single time your alarm goes off and you hit snooze, you are running a training session. You're actively teaching your mind that your commands do not matter. By the time you're an adult, you have run tens of thousands of training sessions teaching your brain to ignore you. But what is trained can be retrained. The parasite can be tamed. Starting today, you have a choice. Every impulse, every hesitation, every urge to quit is a training session. Are you training it to rebel? Or are you training it to obey? You are the master. It is time you started acting like it.